TennoCon 2025 is over, so let's talk about some of the juicy details and announcements for the future of Warframe. Sorry for the delay in getting this out, by the way. I was at TennoCon this year, and it was awesome to meet a ton of you, and I just came to from a sleep-deprived fugue state. Spoilers ahead, duh, and this is going to be a bit of a longer one today, so strap in, including a special announcement at the end of the short. So the biggest news is our next big patch, the Old Piece, coming winter 2025, so I'm going to look into my crystal ball and guess it launches December 10th or 17th this year. This will be taking us back to what seems to be our own memories Matrix style, with the aid of Lloyd and the Lotus peering into a time before the fall of the Orkin, when the Tenno and Sentients worked together and were even friends, where we met a young sentient, Addis, who appears to be our partner of sorts. Now, lore implications of this new story and reveals I'll be covering in a future short as well as the other announcements, but let's talk about the gameplay demo for today. We were shown Tau in the past during what seems to be a Dax rebellion on Tau that we're fighting against alongside our sentient allies. In the quest, we'll be able to play as Caliban Prime, if only for a moment according to the site, and I assume for any replayable content that there may be, we'll be playing as our regular loadouts, but that's purely speculation. We see a mega boss fight against what's called the Hunhullus, a giant sentient walker which we see in the demo is piloted by Addis, our aforementioned sentient partner, but who was not our enemy in that fight, and it was seeming to be more of a training spar between the two of us. Further in the demo, they show that wall running will be coming back with this update as well, so maybe Araxia will be able to wall crawl with the Old Piece, here's hoping. They also announced a Focus School expansion to Tauron Focus, which seems to be a blend of sentient and Tenno ways to greatly increase our powers, including a new ultimate ability for each Focus School, and Narman's was featured in the demo if the hilt of the giant sword is anything to go by, and holy smokes, it explains a lot of how exactly we were able to topple an empire if we had all of those powers back in the day. The Old Piece will also be coming with the previous mentioned and dev workshopped operator rework, which to my understanding is mainly an appearance-based rework, and they look just so much better, as well as what seems to be a full new voice acting for them, which is something that I've really wanted ever since we got our hands on the Drifter appearances and voices. Amazing job with this digital extremes, I can't wait to see how we'll look in the winter. At the end of the demo, we were then teased that we'll be going back to the current time of Tau next winter, December 2026, so it's going to be a big story year for all of us as well as a huge gameplay year. Like I said, we'll be covering more of the announcements from TennoCon like Caliban Prime and his weapons, the Devils Triad, and the Fall Patch in the coming days. So as always, make sure you're subbed for that and more tips, and swing by my Twitch if you need any help. Oh, and just for all of you who watched till the end, I also hit 40,000 subs on YouTube while I was gone, so to celebrate TennoCon and that milestone, I'll be giving away a Valkyrie Heirloom bundle this Friday, July 25th, thanks to Digital Extremes over on my Twitch, so make sure to come on by for that.